This is Aaron Levine, LG Insurance, with another episode of the And Insurance Podcast, our non-profit edition with my good friend, Darrell Wordelmann. Darrell.
Yes.
Thanks for coming to the new space. We're still going to be shooting a lot at Rect, but I love being able to show off the new wall, and I'm happy to have Darrell in here. Darrell is a longtime friend and client of ours, and Darrell started a nonprofit 3 years ago.
3 years
We're
ago.
going on now. Single Parents with MS. And he has an awesome event coming up in a couple of weeks on March 26th. I had the date right too. And
You nailed it.
And so I just wanted to showcase Darrell's story, what the charity is all about, and how we're going to be able to help, the beneficiaries of the event and go from there. So Darrell, tell me about the organization. Why did you start this nonprofit? And you just go.
No problem. First, thanks for having me. And the main thing was my mother. My mother had multiple sclerosis. That's how it was growing up. She was mom with multiple sclerosis. Fortunately for me, my father was around. Okay. But my parents got divorced when I was on the younger side, like 11 years old. And so she had that, that upkeep of myself and my brother, who was 5 years older than me. It is tough. The holidays became tough, and just some things became tough. You want to fix something around the house. It was difficult. And just over time, as she progressed, I realized that down the road, I would love to do something for single parents with MS. And she passed 20 something years ago. But at the end of the day, we realized that it's important to start a charity now, this is 3 years ago, and then get it going and start helping people who are in need.
So this is in memory of, right? But it's also something that's very relevant to you and your current life,
sure,
and the journey that you're on for yourself as well.
Yeah. So I started the charity in April of 2020, but then I ended up being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in October of 2020. So what was crazy about that was having that happen to me. A lot of people came up to me and was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were a single parent." I'm like, no, I'm not a single parent. Unfortunately, I have multiple sclerosis, and fortunately, I'm married. So a lot of people were saying, you're a single parent. No, but it was a good timing for me to then, get out there, become the face of what multiple sclerosis is, and then kind of really help a lot of those people with spouses or no spouses. Right. So we became a resource center.
Okay.
Our website, singleparentsms.org, it's doing well. We're getting a lot of hits, and that resource page is a powerhouse because we're putting in there doctors and documentaries. Where would you go for this? Would you do podcasts? All these things are the news. What's happening? What's new? What's old? So we're keeping up with it, and we're helping everybody else.
Right.
But in the meantime, the number one goal is to help single parents with MS, and that's been just nothing but a blessing for me. It really has been. Every day, I could probably say every day, I'm getting a phone call about something with multiple sclerosis, and how are we helping someone out?
Right.
Right now, I just got off the phone with someone. He needs a chairlift. And, I'm calling this person. It's got to be a right side, left side, because I don't want to get involved in installation, right? I just want to make sure that we just, this person gets the chairlift. Just get it done.
Right.
But you still have to go through the back and forth of it.
Sure.
But then as you're talking to him, you're realizing here's this guy. He's got 3 kids in college. It's difficult. His one son switched majors. And you hear these stories, and you just know the stress and what stress can do to all autoimmune diseases, not just multiple sclerosis, and how much it could truly impact someone. So that's where I realized what we're trying to do is we're really trying to take that stress away from the people at this given time.
So you've built this resource center through your website, right? And you've also been interviewed, and you've participated in other podcasts related to MS. And when you were diagnosed, you changed your diet overnight. Right? You
literally overnight.
And I remember talking to you, and
right.
You changed your diet, you changed your fitness routine, and then you just been focused on what can you do to make your life better.
Sure.
And then you're able to then just give that knowledge back to people who aren't focused and taking the time for it, but still need the same help? Like you went to Europe for
Sure.
some specialized treatment, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Tell me about that.
I was fortunate to be in touch with, I think, the face of multiple sclerosis, Matt Embry. And he is the best bet diet. He is the one who says, like, this is, diet first, then focus on the little things. And, he had the best line. He was like, how can you be functionally cured? This diet's not going to cure MS, but how can you be functionally cured?
Okay.
And it makes sense. Like, let's get all that inflammatory out of your system. Let's get this out. Let's get that out. Let's get this out. And then you're going to stop feeling some of these aches and pains. And I can't tell you how many people I've told over the phone, you got to do this, you got to do this, and you got to do this. And how many people have responded 6 weeks later and was like, I feel completely different. I'm off this drug now.
Wow.
3 months later, and it just makes a difference. It's the biggest difference in the world. And not everybody, multiple sclerosis it's a crazy disease. I always describe it as like, it's a phone charger. And that phone charger has that, little rubber molding around that wire, which is the nerve. Well, that rubber gets nicked, which is the myelin sheath of a nerve in your system. And you have these 3,000 nerves in your system and all these little nicks here and there. But even though, the charger's still working,
right?
And that's what you want to keep on doing. But in the meantime, you want to put a Band-Aid on that thing so it keeps staying steady. Where if you keep on drinking, you're smoking, or you're doing this, you're doing that, eventually, like it's just, you're going to just take that thing and eventually it's going to rip it off, and you're going to lose function in some part of your arm, leg, brain, ear. Unfortunately, it's everything. You have a lot of nerves in your body. So
and that's all good, and I take that. I'm not diagnosed, but I like to drink, and I'm like, if I quit drinking, the inflammation would go away too.
Right. Well, if you're going to drink, if you do drink tequila on the rocks, that is the cleanest drink you could have. So
I drink a lot of tequila.
So then you're good.
So this is just straight water right now. Right. I should have put some peppermint in it,
right,
and been nice and refreshing for us.
That's good. This is perfect, actually.
So you started with the first year you were raising money, right? It was the event is called Mustaches
for MS.
Yes. Right, to benefit single parents. What's the symbolize? What does the mustache symbolize in MS?
Okay, so how like it became the push-up thing for the push-up challenge?
Yeah.
For the the Warriors, and then we had the
ice bucket
challenge, right? Sure. ALS,
right?
So you could sit there and say like, okay, push-up, suicide awareness,
right?
Bucket challenge, no shave November. Right. So I was like, what's like mustache? And that's what it was, like mustache MS. And that's just how it came up. And I know. And that's just how it started. And mustaches for MS. I do want it to become like a renowned thing for everybody in March, because
so I'm gonna have to shave my beard.
You might have to
just go straight stash.
Yes.
It's kind of a creepy look, but
it's actually in now. It's actually it's kind of working, because like now this whole hipster thing is definitely on trend for the mustache. So
I can guarantee you, my kids are like, Daddy, you look funny.
Yeah, 100%. Like my wife last year I grew her from January 1st to the event, and it was just thick. And she's like, please don't do that this year. Please don't do that this year. So it's starting to come in now a little bit. I am gonna make the good thing is I grow it fast. But I definitely have that.
I might have to let it keep growing for.
No, you're good. No, 100%.
Get a little push broom growing. So March 26th is the event.
Yes.
And what, how? Give me the details.
Eagle Oaks Country Club, from 1 to 5. It's a great event. It's a luncheon, casual. Just wearing that's perfect. No ties, no black tie.
Country Club casual.
Country Club casual. There you go. And I'll tell you, we did our first event last year.
Right.
And like I always say, I could see something the first time, I'll master it the second time. And I'll tell you what, we mastered the first time. It was a great event. We had a great crowd. We had a fun time. We got our point across of who we are. We brought in some serious people, and a lot of people are definitely coming back to the event. We had some serious auction items.
Awesome.
And it was, people really went nuts for our auction items. And we
have a preview of what you have for auction items this year? Anything notable yet?
I think we signed up with Tuscany and Villa in Tuscany, excuse me.
Nice.
We have some Costa Rica Villa, Orlando. a little place in Orlando. So then they have the local things like Salt Creek Grill is doing a spot. Like they want to do a dinner for 8 plus the 600 spend on alcohol.
That's always a good gift.
Yeah. Rooney's Oceanfront Restaurant will be doing wine dinner for 10.
Nice.
So
I'm all over that one.
Yeah. So just like things like that, just like, we've, and the people who've actually won the prize and came in, we've done just making sure that everybody is followed up, making sure that it's like, this works, it's legit, making sure that everything's okay. We're dotting the I's and crossing T's. We're following through. We're not just saying here, thank you for your money.
Right.
We're making sure that you're whatever you won, you have, and it worked.
That's a good way to do it. Those dinners for 8 and 10 are great auction items because get a little write-off when you do it through the business.
Okay. See, there you go. I got to talk to my accountant.
And and have a good time. So either it's at Salt Creek Grill or at Rooney's. Those are awesome auction items to bid on. So what's your fundraising goal for 2023?
Well, fundraising goal is $200,000. But at the end of the day, the main goal is to help those in need. And we've done mortgage for 6 months. We've done physical therapy for 3 months. We've done a ramp. And this is people in Detroit, Texas, Montana, Maryland. Mm-hmm. Like we're helping people all across. And it's just whatever they need. And that's the main goal. The main goal is to get people, someone might see this and be like, oh, wow, I know someone who's a single parent is struggling a little bit and holiday pick me up.
Sure.
I can't tell you how many holiday pick me ups we do. And with Amazon, it's great. You literally just shoot the packages out.
Right. And
it's right on your doorstep.
Right.
Here, tell me what you want. Send me the link. And we just send it right out. So that's great. And it's huge.
So if somebody wants to donate who's not attending the event, they can make a donation directly through your website?
Yeah, singleparentsms.org.
Singleparentsms.org. We're going to make sure we connect that link in bio where you can attend the event at Eagle Oaks Country Club on March 26th or make a donation and help somebody that could be in your own neighborhood that could use a little pick-me-up, a little bit of help, who's struggling. And, anything we can do to help our friends, our neighbors, our clients, that's what we want to do here, right? So LG Insurance already sponsored the event on March 26th.
Thank you very much.
So without question, it's definitely, we support the food bank tremendously. And, we like to support our friends in their missions to help other people. Everyone's like, Aaron, why don't you start your own foundation? I'm like, I don't want to start a foundation. I just want to write checks and be done with it. I don't want to plan events.
It's a lot.
I don't want to do anything else. I want to make my donations and feel good about where I contribute because at the end of the day, I know it comes back to me. Helping the community and giving as much as we possibly can is the best way to earn a living. It's strange to say that, but we earn a living by giving as much as we possibly can. So I can't wait to be there on March 26th. I'm actually going to be there this year. No conflicting events that I'm aware of yet. It's on my wife's calendar.
Right.
So
he marked it off.
Hopefully I'll take an Uber, have a couple of tequilas and be good to go. Is there anything else you want to share about the event or the charity?
No, that's it. I mean, honestly, it's truly about giving back to the ones who are in need, that are in stress. And it's important everybody realizes that it's the little things that you do is someone's like biggest smile on her face. You just made me the happiest mother. That's a text I get.
Perfect.
That's a little thing, right? And it's a big thing for them.
Right.
And for us, we just look at it as it's a little thing. So just the little things make someone's life completely change.
That's the way to do it. Awesome. All right, Darrell,
cheers.
thanks so much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.